How you getting on, folks? Look at not the worst of days, I suppose. In Tipperary last time, we had a very nice 12-1 winner with the Ross O'Sullivan runner, and Crackon Curry ended up coming in second, but just was beaten by a better rival on the day. Couple of disappointing runners. Captain Guinness pulled up injured. Um, the next best didn't really go too great either. Rubiana. They're just, I suppose, there's an awful lot of horses getting stuck on the ground, and coming into winter, that's I think what we're going to start seeing more and more of. There's some fairly decent racing going on tomorrow in Thurles. It definitely looks to be a fairly, I suppose, good day's racing in store. Obviously you have the likes of Tiger Roll going in and racing it on the flat in Navan. I think it's the first time he's ran on the flat since 2018, I think, in Dundalk, if I'm not mistaken. But we're going to, I suppose, stick with Thurles, and we're going to stick what we know. And yeah, I think it's definitely a fairly decent day for an each way perspective, more so than backing winners or anything like that. I think there's an awful lot of these horses in here that they mightn't necessarily win, but through getting places and all that, like they're still going to turn into a bit of a profit anyway. First race off anyway. The first race is off at 1 o'clock. We're going to go with a horse called Howie Aoife in this one at 10-1. This one here, obviously, it's coming in at an each way price, so an each way bet is advised. But I definitely think this horse is going to go very, very close here now tomorrow. It was a very nice introduction to chasing in Downpatrick last time out when it was fourth behind, I think it was behind Fag on Bialek for the Arthur Moore setup. That, I wouldn't say the form itself has been backed up, but the form of the yard has been with the name of the horse is after escaping me now anyway, but we tipped it up I think last week or the week before, and it ended up absolutely hosing up for victory. But yeah, this one here, it definitely should put in a very good show, and yeah, I definitely think 10-1 is a crazy price for her. Really and truly, there's an awful lot of these horses in here that will be, I suppose, coming in favouring better ground, whereas this one here has only, I suppose, got, I suppose, the improvement to prove more so than anything else. Normal improvement should see her go very close, and hence I think it's 10-1 she's trading at the minute. Like if she comes in at 10-1, it's almost as good as a 2-1 winner at the end of the day, and that's what we're sort of going for. 135, we are going to go with another each way shout here now with this one. We're going to go with all the chimneys at 7-1. As you probably know, for the last couple of times anyway, I know we tipped it up in Kilbeggan and we tipped it up in Ballinrobe last time out. I was very impressed with the run in Ballinrobe. Put it up to the Mick Winters horse for an awful lot of the journey, but ultimately it was just a very good training performance by Mick Winters. Really and truly, I think, look, there's a very good run in all the chimneys. I know he is getting on in life, and I know he is touching 12, but yeah, I definitely think the improvement that he's shown, I suppose so far, is sort of emulating his younger days when he was, I suppose, 7, 8, 9. Really, at the end of the day, he's been out of form for the last couple of years, but he's slowly but surely starting to get into the horse he used to be. And I definitely think if there's any more improvement to find out of him, I don't think he's gone up a hell of a lot, if he is gone up at all. But he should be able to have the beating of most of these. He's beaten most of them before. He's actually beaten the second favourite by, I think, a head when he came second in Punchestown, I think, at 25-1. I know he gave the Shark Hanlon horse £10 that day, but I definitely think that his runs have improved at least £4 or £5 anyway, at least. Really and truly, any sort of normal improvement at all, or normal, I suppose, improvement of fitness should see this horse at least finish in the top three. I definitely think there's plenty more, I suppose, room for scope about him. I think he is well above his mark, and 7-1 definitely looks to be a very, very good each way price for him. Obviously, the fact that he's a local horse as well, obviously, I suppose, boosts the interest and boosts the form. And it should be well and truly primed for a Thurles win tomorrow. Um, the 207, then we were going to go with the next best. We're going to go with the Beret Rouge for the Willie Mullins team. This one here is trading around even money. Really and truly, it was slightly disappointing last time out in Listowel, when it was just, I suppose, beaten by a more, I suppose, experienced horse at the end of the day. Patrick Mullins takes the ride again. When you're looking at overall form and overall, I suppose, prospects and, I suppose, capabilities, you have to say this Beret Rouge stands out a country mile. You can't really deny the win it had in Roscommon. That, I think it was in around June time. I'm not 100% sure, but like that win that it had that day, it was very impressive. It was actually teamed up with Jody Townend that day itself. But yeah, Patrick Mullins is a pretty decent sort over, I suppose, over hurdles or over jumps, whichever I suppose he gets paired with. But he's more known for the bumper horses, so when he gets these chances of going up, I think he's coming up against a few professionals as well. I think they only get 21 chances in the year to go up against these professionals, so it's interesting to see him going for Beret Rouge here. Even money looks to be a very good shout. I definitely think come, I suppose, race time that will be a shade of odds on, if not, I suppose, long odds on at the end of the day. We don't really know, but yeah, I definitely think that Willie Mullins will definitely have this horse sharp and ready to go, and it's very interesting to see that Patrick Mullins is, I suppose, taking the amateur status and putting it up against professionals that he's only given. I think it's 21 or 25 opportunities a year they get to do this, but it's definitely interesting that he's taken it up for I suppose, a maiden hurdle in Thurles. The 242, then next race off in the day, we're going to go with Shane Duffy's horse Molly K at 4-1. This one here looks to be another fairly interesting sort. It was second last time out in Goran Park to, I can't think of the name now. I'm not 100% sure who will finish second, but finished second anyway. I think it was 2.5 lengths behind. Really and truly, look at the thing that sort of caught my eye the most is the fact that Shane's horses have started to, I suppose, not so much come into form, but they're starting to run a better race than they have been, I suppose, since the start of the season commenced. There's an awful lot of his horses that have either won or gone on to run a very good race as well at the same time. The fact that Rachel Blackmore is teaming up with Shane Duffy here in this one definitely catches my eye. It's I suppose, a partnership that you don't normally see or don't often see. Normally when you do, Shane will have a horse that's well primed and ready to go, and therefore getting Rachel Blackmore on board to have the confidence to see this horse home, that's more than likely what I suppose he's thinking at the minute. I definitely think, look, at 4-1 is a great price. If you can get a quarter of the odds, definitely have a go each way. But look at if it can run to the same capabilities as it did in Goran Park, really and truly, this horse will take some stopping, and 4-1 looks to be a very, very good price. The 317, then we're going to go to nap of the day in this one. It looks to be a very, very good race. But for me, my eye is severely drawn to go another one at 5-2. This one here looks to be a very, very good price. It was very, very disappointing when it was chasing. John McConnell sent it chasing, I think, on 2 or 3 occasions. disappointed big time, and just looked to be out of sorts. But really and truly, like I think he's made the right call now to step this horse back to hurdle, I suppose, company now and back into hurdle races. The ground should be absolutely no problem to this horse. Go another one. Its best form is on yielding to soft to heavy, in and around those sorts of, I suppose, ground conditions. So regardless of what rain is going to fall tonight, I definitely think it's going to play definitely much into the part of go another one. There's a couple of other ones here now that are, I think, conjoined favourites. The Boss is Oscar for Gordon Elliott. I think I can't remember who is writing it now. I think it's a claimer. It's one of his claimers. I can't quite put a name on it who it is, but it definitely looks to be, I suppose, just more so a fitness run than anything else. Just it's something not just quite, I suppose, catching my eye for the Boss's Oscar here in this one. Then you've got Robin DeFore for the Willie Mullins team, who definitely would be in with a shout, but it has become very, very frustrating in the past, I suppose, year or 2 years. It's just, I suppose, been not the most confident horse to put your money on. Really and truly, at the end of the day, you're looking for confidence and you're looking for horses that go in the ground. I definitely think Go Another One is definitely well worth getting behind again. And yeah, it should prove very, very hard to catch. It should be a front runner. Thurles normally favours front runners as well if you can go a good gallop, and I definitely think this Go Another One is going to gallop the horses into the ground tomorrow. The 352 then, we are going to go with another each way shout here now with this one. We're going to go with Rule of June at 5-1. Second last time out in Killarney behind Not So Simple for Norman Lee. Not So Simple is a fairly decent horse at the end of the day. It's put up some very, very good runs against some very good opposition. Really and truly, this Rule of June, it's coming from the Liam Casey yard. It's been given a £3 hike, but really, like, at the end of the day, it should be well capable of meeting that mark now and going on, improving that little bit more. It's not too heavily raced, like, it's not, I suppose, like, it's not exposed as such. It's just, I suppose, the only real worry is whether it's going to handle the ground tomorrow. But look at it, and I suppose a replica of the run it gave in Killarney should see this horse thereabouts and go very, very close in the finish. 5-1 looks a great value bet. Really and truly, I don't think you can go too far wrong with this one. The only problem is, like I said, if it handles the ground conditions, it might just, I suppose, get stuck. But if it handles it well, there you go. There's a winner, I think. 5-1 looks to be a great price. The 427 then, we're going to take a little bit of a chance here now. We're going to go with the reserve for Gordon Elliott here. We're going to go with Indigo Breeze at 3-1. This one here looks to be really and truly the standout horse of the race. When you look at the favourite here in this one, it doesn't look to be great. It looks to be slightly frustrating to follow. Nothing in there really that stands up in form more so than anything else. What I'm sort of looking at here is this Indigo Breeze. It was a very, very comfortable winner of a point in May. I think it won by the guts of 26 or 28 lengths that day, and I think it was in similar enough ground conditions. I couldn't be 100% sure, but I think it was soft or yielding to soft, something along them lines. If I'm like another thing that I'm looking at as well, like Gordon Elliott's horses, his bumper horses in particular, they've all been very, very good. They've all, I suppose, outrun the odds, and they've all like put in some great runs. I think this horse wouldn't need to be too special to go out and actually make it a winning debut over. I suppose in rules races now tomorrow, it's just interesting the fact that it's 3-1, it's a reserve, but Jamie Codd is already booked to ride it, so that's obviously saying something. Jamie obviously puts his faith in this horse for no reason other than he thinks it's going to win. And I definitely think at 3-1, it looks to be another very, very good shout. But look, that's all for me today. Keep, I suppose, make sure to keep liking, sharing, subscribing. If, I suppose, you follow the tips, the very best of luck. And if you come off with a few nice winners tomorrow, make sure to tell your friends, tell your family, tell anyone that listen to you at the end of the day. I suppose the more word that gets out there, the better it is. Say for me, at the end of the day, I don't think there's too many other places around that you'll find better tips at such for free at the end of the day. I'm really, I suppose, shooting myself in the foot in that one, but I definitely think if you're doing it right, free is the way to go. The followers will always come. Just keep making sure to keep liking, sharing, subscribing, and very best of luck tomorrow if you're going to be having a bet. And I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully with, I suppose, a healthier wallet than we came in with. Thanks very much.